What you know about Duwap Kaine?
Duwap Kaine.
Duwap Kaine.
Duwap Kaine has inspired Lil Tecca, Sofago, and countless other rappers. He became a viral sensation through a video he made at 8 years old, blew up again, and accomplished more than most rappers do in their careers as only a teenager. But who is he? How did he get started? And what did he accomplish that was so great? I'm Rashad Fashir, and you're watching the story of Duwap Kaine. Savannah, Georgia, February 21st, 2002. Donald George Ruffin, or Duwap Kaine, was born, and he immediately gravitated towards music. As a kid, Duwap listened to Houston music, Chopped and Screwed, and his own. He loved playing video games on his PS2 and just going outside, being a kid. In school, Duwap was doing well when he was young, but as he got older, that would all change. He began to hate it and lash out, getting in trouble for behavioral issues. He hated the teachers, the homework, everything, and had some pretty horrible experiences. To no one's surprise, he didn't last long and got kicked out of school twice. First in public school, and then he got kicked out of private school. After the second time, he never returned. At 13 years old, he was rapping full time. Just like most kids who would start finding their interests, Duwap started making music through the internet. Some random guy hit Duwap up on Facebook, added him to a Facebook group named after Soulja Boy's group Ocean Gang, and soon after, Duwap would post freestyle videos under the name Dolphin God to fit the group's aesthetic. To him, it was fun. He'd post these videos on his YouTube channel that's still up today, 912 DJ Superstar. The channel consisted of all sorts of content, but he was mostly making chopped and screwed remixes of rappers like Lil B, Rick Ross, Lil Wayne, and Soulja Boy. On his chopped and screwed remixes, people were praising him for their quality, not even knowing his age, asking him how he made them. The most popular videos are his freestyles. Most of the comments are praising him for rapping about drip before it was a thing, and people wondering where he is, begging him to return. Most of them don't even know who he grew up to be. A couple years later, he started to learn how to make music a bit more professionally. He hopped on the computer, downloaded a program, and just taught himself. He didn't even have a mic, so he recorded off the computer mic. For him, using autotune and making music was easy. It came naturally to him. Gradually, he'd get even better. From there, it took 5 years for Duwap to show his face. In the early 2010s, Lil B, thank you Bass God, noticed Duwap and gave him a shout out on Twitter. It was a full circle moment for a young kid who used to make chopped and screw remixes of Lil B on his own YouTube channel. As Duwap got older, he started to meet and work with other rappers, and even became quite close with some. The largest one being his friend Lil Candy Paint. Candy Paint was just a fan of Duwap, hitting him up on Twitter, but Duwap was ignoring Candy because he said Candy was in jail, and he thought Candy was trash. Eventually, he ran into him, and after Candy made a First Day Out song, Duwap remixed it. From there, Duwap came to Candy's house in Atlanta, they moved in together, and became bros. Another rapper Duwap met on Twitter was Lil Yachty. It was 6 in the morning and Duwap was scrolling and saw that Lil Yachty had remixed a song that was popping at the time, Pouring Code. Duwap Snapchatted Yachty, Yachty snapped him back with his number, and they became friends from there. Furthermore, he'd meet other prominent figures in the Atlanta scene at the time, such as Slime Cito and K Supreme. Since Duwap's been making music for so long, it's hard to find his earliest work, but from what fans have found, it dates back to 2011. In 2011, Duwap was only 9 years old, but some of his freestyles would garner hundreds of thousands of views, and one would even be etched into internet history. Also, I made a playlist with all the songs I mentioned in the video, linked in the description if you want to follow along. Elmo Freestyle, a song Duwap recorded and uploaded onto his YouTube channel 912 DJ Superstar in 2011, and one of Duwap's oldest songs. It was relatively unknown with only 5.9k views on YouTube until a Twitter user tweeted the link to the video saying, "Why on earth did this little kid snap like this?" The video blew up. Duwap tried to stop it by copyright striking the video, but it was too late. The Elmo kid is a timeless meme. In 2012, Duwap dropped Activist, his first tape, and all the songs are lost. This is when he would start to use autotune as well. You can hear it in songs of his such as Double Cup, when he was still named Dolphin God. Another lost tape we know of is King Retro 3. In 2015, Duwap would continue to drop music, and those were the years when he began to form his cult following on his SoundCloud from his autotune humming and incoherent style of rap. Duwap's music at this time was alright for a 13-year-old, and he dropped 3 projects: What a Time to Be Wild, Trappin' Fever, and Trappin' Fever 2. His most memorable song is The CPD 2, where Duwap disses the police department on a Memphis horrorcore beat from the 90s. Prior to this, his music was alright, but the leap he made in 2016 would be massive. 2016 was a year where SoundCloud was bubbling. The artists that were coming up were very young, creative, and Duwap Kaine was one of the kids at the forefront. He dropped 7 tapes this year, some of which are still very relevant. In the beginning of the year, he dropped Kaine's Collection and 14. In March, he dropped a project whose name you can tell a 14-year-old came up with called Hoes Plus Money Makes Me Happy. On Beach Trap House, Duwap raps about the trap on a playful beat with bells. In Robbing Banks, produced by Rob Surreal, Duwap raps about sugar and how much he hates the police. Pouring Code, in one of Duwap's first viral songs, he sings in his pubescent voice over a piano beat about orange juice. Kaine's Mansion 5. In NASCAR, Duwap raps about whipping his car like a NASCAR. But he's still a 13-year-old and compares himself to Patrick Star. In '93, produced by Digital Nas, the song's about dealing and Duwap being the plug. Sid Goes Stories. A stove is a stove. The lyrics "A stove is a stove" present a contrast between the innocent and childlike world of SpongeBob and SquarePants and the harsh reality of selling candy. He was hardly a teenager when he made this. Trust Issues. Another song that was produced by Can. Yes, the rapper Can. Duwap Kaine, Lance Vance. He compares his life to GTA Vice City, specifically Lance Vance. 88 Kaine, I'm the Map. Duwap samples once again, this time Dora the Explorer. He's the hood version of the Map in Dora, saying he'll guide you to the trap. No Smoke, another creative beat produced by Duwap. He hates school, the police, and you don't want smoke with him. Benz, a very rare collab between Duwap Kaine and Swerp. They rap over a Toy Story type beat about whipping a Benz and their money. Candy Cane, a play on the word candy cane, referencing Lil Candy Paint and Duwap Kaine. 7. The song has both an aggressive and beautiful tone to it. The song is about him keeping it on him and being ready to use it. It's even produced by Duwap. Peephole. Duwap raps about his Nerf gun yet again on a beat produced by K Supreme. I Know. Another one of his early hits, he repeats I know in the hook. He just knows what's good. 2017. In 2017, Duwap would start hanging out with not only Lil Candy Paint, but other rappers like Slime Cedo and Trippie Redd. He'd stay somewhat mysterious, but would make rare appearances such as in No Jumper vlogs and interviews. You could tell Duwap was still just like any other teenager, with his I don't care and moody personality, which he showcased in No Jumper's content. He dropped a lot of timeless music that year, and it was undoubtedly his breakout year. Friends Till the End. Smelly. This song's an example of Duwap self-producing a song where the beat would be considered trash or just really off-center, but Duwap not only makes it work, he makes it hard. Glock on My Side. Duwap does everything with his Glock on him. He's with the girl, he's got it. Outside, he's got it. In his car, got it. Gatecoat. One of Duwap's hardest songs in my opinion. He's been flexing since he was DJ Superstar, and the usual lyrics about how hard he is. Santa. Santa was Duwap's breakout single in 2017. The song was just really catchy. Duwap uses his signature autotune flow, flexing his wealth, woman, and street life. Bye Felicia. Rare collab with Yachty, except Duwap didn't put Yachty on the official song. He compares Broke Boys to Felicia from the movie Friday, because Felicia asked for money. Under the Sun. Duwap raps about sand, walk, and lean. Under the sun just means he's on Earth, which is supposed to serve as a juxtaposition because he's high, get it? Like in the clouds. Candy Cane. The song. One of Duwap and Candy's only two collabs that exist. They just rap about drugs and their Nerf guns. The song's just alright, to be honest. Forever Kane. Hashtag Tell On Me. Duwap raps about his money, expensive drugs, and street life. Duwap and Pierre would go on a run where all their songs would just get millions of plays, and this was one of them. Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Duwap references Johnny Bravo and Tupac while saying he doesn't like y'all. He's unique and would rather stick to himself. Trippie Redd Uh-Oh Thought Remix featuring Duwap. Duwap remixed Trippie Redd's famous collab with XXXTentacion from what I'm guessing is from when they were recording together. No Xanax / Long Live Gus. My favorite Duwap song. He pays homage to the late Lil Peep, who recently overdosed, and says, a Xan. This was when Xans were glorified back in 2017. Disagree. Disagree is one of his largest songs to date, has a braggadocious tone. I'm probably overthinking it, but he's rejecting societal norms and the traditional path by saying, screw school and the trap can't fail me. Over the next couple of years, Duwap surpassed his SoundCloud fame and broke out of the underground. He was the hottest new teenage rapper before it was a trend or cool to be rapping so young. In 2018, Duwap's sound would evolve and he'd continue his crazy run. He also started getting booked for large shows like Rolling Loud. Gunyu Stain featuring Duwap. They rap about hitting licks on Gunyu's new album, Gunwick. Southside, another one of Duwap's famous songs, he raps about his glow up and flexes riding in a Lambo. Underdog, Duwap's most critically acclaimed album, an underground classic. This whole album is so unique, but Duwap just made it, put it out, and moved on. In Mad, the most popular song, Duwap isn't interested in chasing girls. He's trying to get money. Tweak. He raps about his Saint Laurent jeans, riding in Ferraris and Beamers, and the flow of the song would start to establish the sound and direction his future music would go in, on top of Underdog itself. In Phone, Duwap repeats the phrase pick up the phone and just raps about getting and wanting money. Trampa de la Casa. It means trap house in Spanish. He shouts out Trippie Redd, Slime Cedo, and Diego Money. TK, House, I can't say that word, featuring Duwap Kaine. It sounds like a song made for GTA and actually one of TK's hardest songs. They just rap about them really being outside. 2019 was a quiet year for Duwap. He didn't drop a lot, but almost all the songs he did were amazing. He started making a whole new style of music, and his evolution was really cool to see. The music he would start making was euphoric and ethereal. He really mastered his sound. Flying. The song's heavenly. He raps about being up and having money for real. He's a bit older now and reminisces about 2011 while flexing his chains and diamonds. Perk. A remix of Cardi's viral leak, Molly. Duwap was kinda proud of the fact he made his voice crack. Epic fail. One of Duwap's ethereal tracks, he raps in a soft voice about drugs and being a city boy. The day after, he dropped Playing with Autotune. He literally is playing with autotune in the song. It grew on me, but at the time it sounded trash and he got clowned for it. It even started some beef with Autumn. Mr. 4. A nobody, Duwap raps in an angry tone. He was supposed to be an opener for Cardi's Die Lit tour, but didn't attend most of it because he was too high, according to this song. Lean on You. Song's pretty chill. He uses a lot of autotune and sings over the beat about being slumped and kind of mellowing out. This song is also a really good example of how good Duwap is at using autotune. But it was a rare year for Duwap. It was the first time he didn't drop an album in years, but he'd make it worth the wait the following year. It was a good year. Dropped on New Year's, Duwap is having fun rapping about what he normally raps about, but on a house beat. Geeked Out of My Body. Yes, that's Destroy Lonely in the cover. I didn't even realize when the song first dropped. The song sounds like what you'd feel like if you were floating. This makes you feel elevated. It can't really be explained in words. Bad Kid from the 4, my personal favorite album in 2020. Earl's Sweatshirt, the most popular song off Bad Kid from the 4, and a reference to Earl's Sweatshirt. Duwap just raps about his life, beautifully. The feeling. Duwap loves the feeling of getting money, and just his life in general. Getting high, doing donuts, etc. Kappa. Kappa means the hardest song on the album in my opinion. Everything from the piano playing in the outro from the previous song to the dopamine-filled drop. It's just so good. He dropped 2 more projects, Underdog 2 and Thank You Kaine. No autotune. Duwap raps without autotune. The song got a lot of traction and actually became a series. No Autotune 2, No Autotune 3. This is the last autotune. He lied. And dropped No Autotune 4. 2021 wasn't a very eventful year, but Duwap dropped a decent amount of music. He dropped 2 projects, After the Storm and Hardhead, and a couple hard-hitting singles. Act Up. His largest song of the year, Ethereal Duwap makes a comeback. He's not fake tough like most rappers. In Empire, Duwap explains he goes both ways. In 2022, Duwap returned to his old self and dropped 8 albums. It's too much to go through. He dropped a compilation album of his most popular songs, a remix of his friend Lil Yachty's viral song, Poland, a tape in support of Lil EBG, the chill rapper who got locked up, the 3rd installment of Underdog, just a lot of music, more than the last couple of years combined. In 2023, Duwap has been continuing the consistency and he's even been working with newer generation rappers like Xavier Sobase, who are just coming up. Everything about Duwap was just so ahead, even today. He set a lot of trends in the underground, both musically and stylistically, and often doesn't get the respect he deserves because what he did back then is just normal now, and people just brush it off. If you want to hear my full analysis and thoughts, check out part 2 to this video on my commentary channel where I go in depth on the artist's influence, his impact, and my experience as a fan of his personally. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.